All right, here we go. First live stream on YouTube. So up to this point, I've been streaming this painting progress on Twitch, but I thought, hey, why not share it on YouTube where I already have a lot of followers. So those of you who are following me here can easily see what I'm working on. So here is a work in progress. It's of Lake Moraine in Banff National Park in Alberta. If you haven't been to it or seen it, go check it out. Look up some photos on the internet. This is a design I made back in, I think, November of 2019. And yeah, I just had a custom order of one for somebody in Switzerland, and it needs to be ready to ship next week. So I will be making sure this is done and ready to ship for next week. So as you can see, I've already done the sky, and I did the trees yesterday. Today we're going to be working in the mountain range itself, and hopefully getting that all done. So I'm going to start with the lighter colors in the mountains. I have some snow parts where it's just pure white. And so I'm just going to go in and just simply mark with a little bit of white paint which squares I need to do in pure white. If this is your first time, interacting with me, I encourage you to leave a comment. You feel free to chat in the chat stream there. I'm more than happy to answer questions as we go and just talk art or, talk whatever you'd like, really. And which other one here I'll go with? And this one here. Just using one of my old photos of a different one I've done as kind of my reference for it to make sure I don't miss any spots. All right, I think that's all the white we got here, so we're going to start in on that. The white always takes at least 2 layers, sometimes 3, and sometimes a little bit more. I'm pretty excited to be showing these live streams of my art now. I'm just starting with my computer webcam for now, and if things continue to go well, then I'll be able to invest in a little bit better of a webcam. We'll be able to get a little bit better angles as we go. Feel free to share this live stream on your social media accounts. I want this to be a place where, we can come and talk art and talk, I don't know, beautiful landscapes you've seen, and places you've traveled, what inspires you, what you're doing to keep busy, anything really. It's been a while since I've been able to create a full video of a painting to post like a time lapse or something on my channel. And so I thought you know, starting to do some live streams would be a good way to actually show what I'm working on and show my process of stuff. Usually I'll be streaming more in the evenings, but I'm hoping to get this piece done soon here, as it needs to be ready by mid next week. So decided to stream a little bit today while I'm working during the day on this piece. I'm hoping to be able to save these streams on YouTube afterwards. I'm not quite sure how that works, as this is my first live stream on YouTube. And then I'll just create a playlist on my channel with all the live streams on it. And if anybody, if you want to rewatch any or anything, then I'll be there ready to go. But we'll see how that goes. Making sure my mic was reading it. I think it was. Now we'll go back and do the second layer. And usually after the second layer of whites, then we're good to go. There might just be a spot or two that needs to be touched up. You know, if there's anything that you'd like to see me do in a live stream, any different types of tutorials or something, definitely let me know. Or if you're here to just say hello, say hello. I just made 2 of these a couple of weeks ago. One was a bigger one. It was 12 by 18. This one's about 7 by 11. A lot of fun to work on a larger scale of this design. I hope to be able to do more. I have prepped and ready to go a version of this on a 24 by 36 inch canvas, but commission paintings come first, and so I have to fulfill this order, and then I can get back to experimenting on my own. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up as you're watching. I don't know if that helps other people see it or not, but thumbs up are always appreciated. All right, to touch up a little bit here. It's usually those thinner parts. That need a little extra help in the end. All right, so there's the white done in the mountains. Look at my photo here. Okay, now we get into a bunch of bluey grays and some browns. So I'm going to take some Mars black here. Hold it. It's backwards for you. That's all right. We get some Mars black, golden. I love golden paint, golden acrylic paint here. Put some of that over on our canvas. We won't need a ton. Black's pretty strong. And I'm going to need some more white, so I've got some golden. White here, titanium white. And got some Payne's Gray Tri-Art. Put a little bit of that down. That's pretty potent stuff as well. Keep all these up here. And then I'll start with that, and eventually we're going to get in with some burnt umber. So this Liquitex brand. And some burnt sienna as well. Just going to mix some gray here. Bring in a bit of a Payne's Gray. I'm going to start with the lightest. So that's pretty light. Take all that white that we have there. Mix that in. Bring that all over. All right, we're going to mark the lighter spots here that we're going to do, and then we'll come back in and fill them in. And if we need to end up going a little bit lighter, then we'll just adjust that as we go here. Last one I did of this, the blues in the mountains were a little bit too close to the blues in the sky. And so this time I added a bit more black to the original mixture, and that just makes the blues more muted and more, just have more gray color to them. And that will help them not be so close to the blues in the sky here. All right. Get a bit more white here. Where's the white? Titanium white. Here it is. this needs to be just a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's looking better. Especially after acrylic paint, as it dries, the final color that you get on your canvas is usually darker than what you see when you put it on. And so it's always important to go just a little bit lighter than what you were originally planning. Okay, let's try this out. Oh yeah, even that's better there. Paintbrush shed a little bit. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. This isn't my usual brush for these paintings, but I tried it when I started this one the other day, and I've been enjoying it so far, but every once in a while it does just shed a little hair or two. And we'll come back and we'll touch up all the edges of these as we go. With this lighter gray, we're gonna probably end up doing 2 layers anyways, so I'm not too worried about that right now. Mountains have always been my least favorite part of this painting, just because there's a lot of different colors and a lot of mixing and making sure all the colors flow together nicely. It gets a little bit hectic, but I think I'm figuring out a good system for it. Sorry about that. I'll turn my phone on silent here. Onto this guy. So I like starting from the lighter colors, the whites, working my way through the darker tones, just because then it means less cleanup for my brush. Because if you start with the darkest, each time you move towards a lighter one, you're gonna have to rinse off your brush, or else the dark leftover dark paint that's in your brush will mix in with the lighter tones that you're then working with. But if you work with the lighter ones first and then move towards your darker, that little bit of light that's left on your brush is just going to get worked right into that darker tone, and it's not even going to have an effect on it. Oh yeah, this is looking better. It's not quite so blue. When I usually I just use the Payne's gray and white, but when the Payne's gray is mixed with white, it really turns it to a blue color that is very similar to a cerulean blue mixed in with white, which I find very interesting. I was trying the stream option on Twitch this week. First time I've really done live streams of my art. And it seemed all right. It seemed a little bit, I don't know. I guess the whole niche of the site is more towards gaming, and even a lot of the art that I did see was more towards digital art. There were still some traditional artists, some who were doing watercolor paintings or oil or acrylic, but not too many. But I thought, why am I trying to start a new platform when I have all these followers here? May as well let the people who've been following me see these streams. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the like. Thanks to whoever gave this one a like. I'm just going to go over and give these light ones a second layer, especially on the edges where close to the burn. Thanks, Janet. Thanks for tuning in for a minute here. This one's been a fun one to work on. Yeah, I was saying as it's close, you can see close to the wood burn lines, it's even just turned the wood a little bit darker, and so that dark part turns, it shows through the paint a little bit more. And so usually if I need to put a second layer on any parts of these, it's usually just around the edges. What brand of wood burner do I recommend? I actually recommend the one that I have is from a company called True Art, Truart. It's all just one word, and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's awesome. When I first started out, I started with just I think it was Wellington. I think that was the brand. It was just a basic one that I got at the hardware store, but it didn't get hot enough for me. The handle itself got super hot, so I had to wear a glove when I would use it for long periods of time. I really had to press down to get grooves in the wood. But this one that I have by True Art, it gets super hot. I can control the temperature. It has a dial on the control box where I can control the temperature of it. It heats up and cools down super fast. It came with everything I needed, plus more. It's a little bit more on the pricey side. I think it was about 150 American. I'm Canadian, so it was a little bit more, about 200 Canadian with the exchange rate and shipping and all that kind of stuff, or maybe even just over that. But that was definitely worth the investment. If wood burning is something you really like to do and is a part of your art, then True Art is definitely the brand I would recommend. Every time I go to use it, it just I don't know, puts a smile on my face. It was, yeah, probably my favorite art supply or equipment or whatever you want to call it. Favorite one that I've ever purchased. Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to see a photo of it if you wouldn't mind sending me one. You can just, I don't know if you can share photos on here, but I think, yeah, if you can just email it to me at brian@briansloanartist.com, that would be sweet. I did a product review video actually of the wood burner that I use, the True Art one, if you want to check that out. It is the easiest way to get to it is just be on my channel under product reviews. It should be in that list. And then yeah, I do a little demo with it, and you can kind of see the gist of it. That would be sweet. Thanks. Yeah. Do you mind if I then share it as well, that photo that you emailed to me? Cool. Thanks. I'll definitely mention you and your art as well, so it gets recognized too. Okay, 12 by 12. Cool. What do you remember? What type of wood it was? Was it just pine? I just used regular, just knotty pine. A birchwood panel. Okay. I'll have to try one of those and compare it to the pine and see if it burns differently, or see if the paint kind of adheres to it differently, or because birchwood is pretty light colored, right? Is that right? That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I've only ever used pine. I'll have to see if I can get some birchwood and see how it compares, and yeah, and just how it burns, and how the paint goes on and stuff. All right, so we have turn it this way so you can see it. I have the lighter ones all done in there, so I'm going to take a bit more of the Payne's gray that I'm using. Mix that in there. All right, let's look at my reference here and see which ones we need to do of this more medium dark color here. This one. This one here. This guy there. Oh, no, not that one. Don't want that one. Oh, well, I'll have to remember not to do that one. Those two are pretty well the same. This one here. There. Okay. That guy. Both those. A few of these are going to be a bit more blue and a bit more gray, so I'm going to have to go back and I'll have to touch those up as we go here. This one here. But I guess right now we're going for more the medium style ones. Oh, I knew I'd forget to burn a line in right here, right across there. I always miss at least one. I'll have to go back and touch that one up. Okay. All right, we'll start with that. And then if we need to, we'll come back and add in any ones that we thought we might need to. I'll come back and do a second layer on some of these here. The second layer I might actually lighten up a little bit. It's already looking a little bit too dark, I think. Like I said before, on these mountains, I've put in so many different lightness hues of the same general color that it's hard to match it exactly, but at the same time, it almost makes it better because then it makes each one of these that I do unique in its own way. You know, and I think that's what people want when they purchase these art pieces anyways, is something that is unique and one of a kind, and you know, that's what I can get with these ones for sure. You know, like right here, this one that's right beside, I'm going to want to make that one a little bit lighter. I feel like when I live stream, you know, this week has been my first week doing any of this, and this is my first one on YouTube, but I feel like I almost get more done since I know people are watching. Then I stay focused better and I don't get sidetracked as much. So I think it's a good thing that I've decided to start doing this. Sometimes it's pretty easy to get sidetracked and you get, I don't know, get thinking about another project or just, you know, sit and gaze off into space for a little bit, thinking about what you need to do next or the colors that you need to mix next. But when you're on live, you just do it. Janet, if you're still on, did you email that photo already? I don't have my email up beside me, but if you have sent it, then I'll take a look at it right now, and I can love to comment on it while you're watching. Doing it now? All right, good to know. I'll check in just a minute then. All right, here's where I missed burning in that line. So I'm just going to do the paint right up to where the line would be. And then afterwards I'm going to have to go in and burn the name of this in the year and my name in the back anyways, so I'll be able to just add in that extra line when I go and do that. Yeah, Brian at, and then with an I, so BRIAN. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, briansloanartist.com. Yeah, that's it. All right, looking at that color of the bluish gray, I think that's all right. I might just mix in just a little bit more of this lighter color to it as we go in and do the second layer. Make sure the edges are all nice and clean. I think that's part of the aesthetic of these paintings, is that, you know, with the clean cut, bold color look to it. Add that in here as well. No worries, Janet. If you can't get it right now, that's okay. Or if you think it'd be easier to share to me over Facebook or something, that's, you know, that's another option too. All right, anything else here that I need? I think it went okay. I will check. sometimes my artist emails don't always go to my phone. I might have to quickly check on my computer here. Oh yeah, I think I see it there. Let's see. Can you download? Oh yeah, let's download that image now, and I'll be able to see it better. That's great. That's really cool. It's cool to see a recreation of one of the pieces I've done. It's cool to think that, you know, I've inspired somebody else to, to try something that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that with me, Janet. I really appreciate that. I'll share that later today, and yeah, link here. Is there anything that you'd specifically like me to link to when I share it? I'll probably share it on my Facebook page, maybe my Twitter account. But yeah, is there something? What accounts would you like me to share along with that? All right, we're just mixing up the next color here. So Janet, on that piece, what kind of you said you had a pretty old wood burner. What kind of paint did you use on it? Well, it was different than, the colors were a little bit different than, you know, the one that I did, but I think they still looked good together. It almost made it look like it was a little bit more like stormy out, kind of the darker, you know, it almost looked like a navy blue in there. But I actually recently had someone request for, or just ask, you know, if I could recreate these paintings with that kind of color palette to it, with those darker, kind of stormy looking skies and stuff. Yeah, I think you nailed it with yours there. So I might have to check that out a little bit closer, and I might even be using that. I find these live videos to be a lot more fun. You know, it's one thing to get comments here or there on videos and stuff, but it's another thing to, you know, interact live with with people. I feel like that social experience is a lot more enriching for both parties. So I've been keeping track of the time I've spent on this one, because I never actually have, you know, timed how long it takes to do one of these paintings. I always just kind of guessed overall. But I think before this stream, we were sitting at 3.5 hours of work time. And now this stream, we're already at 51 minutes. So we're at 4 hours and 20 minutes so far on this. Just need to rinse my brush off. It's feeling a little bit gummy. Sometimes when, you know, I shift between similar colors, then I won't wash it off, but then that makes it get a little bit gummy sometimes. That feels better already. So I'll probably go live again tonight around, I usually try to go live around 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I'm in Alberta, Canada, so Mountain Standard Time. whatever I don't get finished up of these mountains right now, although I might be able to get these all done here. But if I don't get these finished up in this stream here, then we'll definitely be finishing them up tonight. Today's Friday. How do I find subject places you've been? Yeah, so that's what I've based them off of so far, except for a couple. So yeah, this one, I actually based it off of a photo I took June of 2019. So not the June, not this past June, but the June before. We're up there visiting, and that's what I did with the Lake Louise one as well, because Lake Louise and Lake Moraine are right beside each other. They're about 10 minutes apart. And so, yeah, I based those ones off of photos I took. The ones, all the different scenes in Waterton or close to Waterton. So there's like Cameron Falls, the Prince of Wales Hotel, Chief Mountains close to there, Cameron Lake. All those are also based off of photos that either I took or my dad took. And I grew up going to Waterton a lot, and we still go there a lot. And so that's kind of how I chose those subjects. And then the few other ones that I've done, like I've done the lighthouse at Peggy's Cove in Nova Scotia, but I've never been there. I just know it's, you know, kind of a maritime Canadian landmark, and so that's why I chose to do that one. And then a few of the other ones, what else have I done? I did like a moose by a lake. That I just kind of pieced that together from a few different photos. It's not actually of a specific place. That's just kind of pieced together. Same with I did a little cabin by a lake. That's just pieced together from a few different photos that I've taken or my dad's taken. But I really like to do places that people have been, because then these really serve as good mementos of those places, good souvenirs. And oh yeah, and the grain elevator one. Those grain elevators actually aren't even there anymore. But that one, I was able to find an Albertan photographer who had taken that photo, and I was able to get permission to use his photo on that one. But I find when it's, you know, it's a subject that relates to me, either because I've been there or just because I have familiarity with it, then that's what gives me motivation to create it. Otherwise, I feel like I lose interest in subjects that don't really relate to me. I think all artists are kind of like that too. You know, if you're not really interested in the subject, then you don't really have the motivation to paint it or to work on it. Gotta find one. It's been a while since I've done commission paintings. I guess this is kind of considered one, but from somebody else's photo or a different subject that somebody wants. It's been a while since I've done one of those, but I find that when I do, those ones that I'm not fully engaged in them, just because it's not, they're not really subjects that interest me a lot. I'm gonna add some more white here. Okay, where are we? Just gonna touch up a few spots that I may have missed doing a lighter color on real quick here. Okay, so now I'm going to do the darkest ones next, the darkest parts, and then I'll really be able to see where I need to go back. If I need to add any browns to certain parts of the mountains or, things like that. So let's get these darker ones in here. Bring this back up. So we'll mark the ones that need to be dark. Dark. Now I really start to see these mountains fill in. And then it'll be easier to go back and be like, oh, we missed a spot there. Yeah. I thought about, almost creating these into like a paint by number, and it's easier to follow along instead of being like, oh crap, I missed the spot, I need to go back. Okay, I think that's all the dark ones for now. Sounds good. Have a good day at work, Janet. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right, so we're getting these dark spots in. This mountain's actually flowing quite a bit smoother today than other times that I've painted it. I think, after how many times of painting this, doing this painting here, that I'm finally starting to get a better system as to how to mix these colors better. This is working out much better. And at first, sometimes I think the lights aren't light enough, but then once you add in these darker tones, just the contrast between them seems to lighten up those lighter colors even more. And like I said, we're gonna have to go back in a little bit here, and you can see there's some empty spots. Some of these are going to be more browny, and we haven't really mixed any browns in yet. But a few of them I'm going to have to be like, oh, I forgot to do that medium tone there. Or I need to mix a new medium light or medium dark tone to throw in there. And we'll tackle that after we get these dark ones in. Oh, did I forget another burn line? Is that 2? Sure did, right there. Okay, well, we're at 2 so far. I usually average at least 2, so we'll see if there's any more later on. Just a little guide too, just a little connector. You know, that's something you could definitely leave, but I'll be touching that up later and make sure that's okay. Yeah, I think I'll be able to get these mountains done in this sitting, and then tonight we'll be able to start the lake, which would be awesome. If I can get most of the lake done tonight, I should be able to finish this up tomorrow. And then I can start and leave it for a day to dry. And I'll be able to spray it and varnish it on Sunday. And give it another day to dry. And then package it up Tuesday, and it'll be picked up on Wednesday. Just need to adjust this mic here a little bit. Sorry, it gets a little bit craggly. There we go. That's better. It's sitting too close to my neck. It was kind of rubbing up on my neck there. Okay, let's bring up that reference photo again here. So now I'm going to do some mini mixes here and just touch up where it needs to be touched up. Need like a medium dark tone here. Okay, what else do we got here? We're going to Payne's gray. We'll have to go back and touch that up in a minute. Any other medium darks? Yeah, over here we definitely have some. Let's need a little bit more white though. It's just a little bit too dark in there. Touch up a few edges around there. It seems to be a little bit lighter for the next. Wow, it needs to be light, even lighter. I see, okay. So we'll get this guy in here about this color. That is similar to other ones around, but that's okay. That's what it's all about. And then we're just gonna get some white and mix it off to the side over here. And add that in right here. And what's that top one there? That's kind of a medium as well. We're going to add some, even a bit more white into this. So we get that. Okay, now we'll move our way to the left. This one's kind of light as well. Okay, this one's brown. All these ones are kind of brown down in here. Then both of these two are kind of a light medium. Try this color here. And we'll get a little bit lighter for this one right here. Oh yeah, this is looking good coming together here. Okay, so those are all brown. This one's a bit more gray. Oh, this one's a little gray as well. Just grab a little bit of black. Black's dry in here. Add a little bit of black to this mixture. Make that color a bit more gray. All right, and then both of those are pretty similar in color. Oh, here comes the air conditioning. You'll probably hear it in the background there. Okay, I'm going to add some more white to this. And a little bit more black. And a little bit more white. That should be good for this one here. It's funny when you first do a project like this, you don't really think about, oh, is it going to be easy to recreate? But now that I've had to do it a bunch of times, it's like, oh, why didn't I make this easier to recreate? But no, that's what gives it that personal touch. It makes it hard for people to recreate things like this. Okay. That's light. Oh, what do we got here? That's kind of grayish there, so we might do that one right now. And this one's grayish, so we'll do that one right now as well. Grab a little bit more black, some more white. Needs to be a little bit more. Usually I don't do that much mixing with my paintbrush, but on a piece like this, it's easier to. All right, that one is gray. And what did we say? This one right here is gray. What else do we got? Kind of a gray blue. These ones are more brownish. What do we do here? Oh yeah, that's brown. Oh, I'm missing another line. Oh man, that's 3 now. Where's my pencil? I knew something just wasn't quite adding up here. So we got that one. We've got that one, and we've got that one. So we got 3, which means I painted the wrong one gray here. I mean, it's not the biggest deal. But this one up here is going to be gray. I knew something was kind of off with this spot over here. Okay, now let's go back in and it's going to rinse that one off. Okay. Grab some white. Grab some of this blue. Mix that in. Where are we going here? This light blue now is going to go over top of this gray that I put in. Okay. I feel like we got something wrong here too. This white, grayish, light blue. Okay. Grab some more of this light blue here. And the one below that is going to be brown. A little bit more white to that. This top part's going to be a light blue. Okay. Need to turn the settings so my screen stays on. Okay, and this is kind of a light blue right here. No, not that one. This one. That one's gonna have some brown in it. Which we will be mixing in momentarily. Rogue hair there. Okay, so now let's get out. Where is it? Burnt. Actually, let's not use burnt umber. I'm gonna go down here and grab. We'll use some raw umber instead. Pull up a little bit of that right there. We don't need much. It's probably already too much. And I'm definitely going to need some more white. Pull up a little bit of that down. Okay. What we got. Just go ahead and subscribe on my channel if you're watching. I appreciate it. All right, so we have these four that are kind of a little bit darker. I'm going to grab a different palette knife here, one that's clean. Grab some of this burnt umber. Grab a little bit of white and a little bit of black. Mix that all in here. What do we get? Is that the color we are looking for? It is. Then I'm going to put just a dab of burnt umber. Just a hair. You won't need much. And just mix a little bit of that. A little bit of white with that. Oh man, a little bit of white sure does go a long way with this stuff. Okay. Finish rinsing off this brush. Dry that sucker off. Okay, so we've got that's going to be that color. This one's going to be more of those. This one's kind of going to be a mix. Okay. Let's start with this one. And I'll probably need to do 2 layers at least of this brown. It seems the raw umber that I have is pretty transparent. And so yeah, we'll need a couple layers. The nice thing though, since the wood is brown, it's usually all it takes. If it had been, you know, when I do like a pure yellow or something, like I put like 7 or 8 layers on. Okay, I changed my mind. This one's gonna be straight. This one as well. And then this guy in here is going to be the more burnt umber style. And this guy over here will be more of a mixture of the two. All right, let's get in there and do second layers. Okay. Oh yeah, I am missing one in there. Oh, it's going to be a light. Oh, light color. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute then. Okay. Did I bring my water bottle down this time? I don't think I did. Since I'm able to use my computer for the camera, this is the longest stream that I've done, 1 hour 26. It's awesome. Okay, so now we're just going to do these last few pieces of the mountain. Those are going to be a very light brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, I'll actually use the palette knife for this. Don't get the brush so dirty. Just take a lot more white. Mix that in here. So go with that kind of a color. Take a bit more white. Make an even lighter one. Let's go with 2. And no, we'll make a little third one as well. We'll just take a little bit more brown with it here. Kind of the darkest of the three right there. Okay. So the lightest ones, see, this is the lightest one. It's going to be this one, that one, and already I can tell you I'm going to need some more white in that. Those two and this one, that's going to have to be redone with this as well. All right, we'll start with those ones. And then we'll reconvene after that. And I'll end up doing a couple layers of these lighter ones for sure here. And we need to change this blue. Let it fail on that one. It's okay, at least I noticed it. This one will definitely take 2 layers to do. All right, let's go ahead and touch up second layers of these lightest ones. Up there. Okay, there's the lightest. And Okay, that one. This one. These are the darkest ones. Well, yeah, darkest of the light. And then we got 2 medium ones to fill up here. All right, so we got 1 second layers that we need to do on those. Probably just this little guy right here, the skinnier one. And this darkest one, let's just make sure the edges are nice and smooth. Now give it a quick look over. Given a few lines that I forgot to burn in. I think the mountains are good. I think the mountains are done, which is awesome. Didn't expect to get that much done this afternoon. Clock that at an hour and a half. So yeah, later tonight then, let's turn this thing. I will start on the lake. Hopefully get the lake all finished up tonight. And then tomorrow I can do the log, the canoes, and the little cabin shack there. But I think other than that, I think we're good to go for now. And then I guess I could keep on going, but should probably go have some lunch. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in. If you did, I'll be back at around 7 o'clock on standard time tonight. We'll work up on this lake and yeah, be one step further to getting this painting done. See you next time.